IRL competitive play for the Pokemon trading card game returned in March 2022. After a long break due to the global pandemic, players were eager to compete at official events. There were 39 major tournaments between March 12th and December 17th, as listed on LimitlessTCG.com, which will be the resource we use for today's video. Let's look at the 10 best decks from Pokemon TCG tournaments in 2022. Number 10. Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX Inteleon. Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX Inteleon was a tactical deck with tech Pokemon, bench sniping, and a bulky 330 HP VMAX Pokemon dishing out the damage. Robin Schultz won Liverpool Regionals with RS Urshifu on March 26th. Gustavo Wada won the European International Championships with RS Urshifu on April 22nd, and Tord Reklev won the Milan Special event on June 4th. Impressive, but that's only the wins. Also worth mentioning is that not only did Gustavo Wada win EUIC with RS Urshifu, but 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 8th place were also similar builds of the Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX Inteleon archetype. According to LimitlessTCG.com, the total prize money earned with RS Urshifu VMAX Inteleon in 2022 was over $40,000. Not bad for the lowest ranked deck that we'll talk about today. Number 9. Arceus Duraludon. Duraludon VMAX is probably one of the most absurdly powerful cards of the Sword and Shield era. It has 330 HP, no printed weakness, it can't be hit by Pokemon with special energy attached, and its attack does 220 damage while going through all effects. Duraludon has popularly been played with Arceus V-Star, the king of consistency and efficient setups, since Duraludon's issue is setting up and getting ready to attack. Arcdura started the year off strong with a second place finish at the first event, Brisbane Regionals, on March 12th. This archetype had dozens of other placements throughout the year, with its crowning achievement being Milwaukee Regionals on June 18th, when Braden Elfert piloted the deck to victory, and Frank Mintmeyer was not far behind, placing 7th with it. Number 8. Giratina V-Star Comfey. Giratina V-Star and the Lost Zone engine as a whole had a late start competing with some of the big boys like Arceus V-Star and Mew VMAX, since Lost Origin didn't release until July 15th in Japan and September 9th everywhere else. Giratina V-Star's first time in the spotlight was September 17th at Champions League Yokohama, Japan, when Shota Nakaho piloted Giratina Comfey through a tournament of 3,166 players all the way to first place, and was the only Giratina V-Star player in top 8. Giratina V-Star has 2 devastating attacks, Lost Impact, which does 280 damage, and Star Requiem, which instantly knocks out the opponent's active Pokemon, so long as you have 10 cards in the Lost Zone. Getting cards into the Lost Zone is easy for this deck with effects from Comfey, Chorus's Experiment, Giratina V, and Giratina V-Star. Some other notable achievements for Giratina V-Star Comfey include 7th place at Peoria Regionals piloted by John Ang, 3rd place at Salt Lake City Regionals piloted by Nicholas Moffat, and 2nd place at Warsaw Regionals piloted by Alex Shemansky. Number 7. Arceus Flying Pikachu. Arceus V-Star with Flying Pikachu VMAX became an established archetype at Milwaukee Regionals, where Azul GG placed 10th, and other notable players like Jose Marrero and Kid Stark made day 2 with the deck as well. With Palkia V-Star dominating the tournament scene, and Regigigas being a new basics-only deck in the meta, Flying Pikachu seemed like the perfect partner for Arceus V-Star, since it is Lightning type to take care of Palkia V-Star, and its attack renders the entire Regigigas deck useless. It wasn't until the North American International Championships the following week that the world would recognize Arceus Flying Pika as a top deck of the format. Azul GG defeated Isaiah Bradner in the finals and became the 2022 North American International Champion with Arceus Flying Pikachu. But that's not all. Arceus Flying Pikachu was the first, second, and third place deck at the 2022 World Championships in the Masters Division. This was an incredibly consistent deck with all the right tools for the Summer 2022 format. Number 6. Lost Zone Box. Admittedly, I despise categorizing the different variants of Lost Zone decks under the umbrella term of Lost Zone Box, because there is so much creativity to be had with this deck engine, but for the sake of the video, we will be analyzing it as one archetype with several variants. The two main variants of Lost Zone Box are those with Radiant Charizard and those with Radiant Greninja. Since you can only play one Radiant Pokemon in your deck, I have liked this as the main factor of categorizing these decks. The premier deck lists for the two main variants of Lost Zone Box came from two major events in Asia on September 17th, the Champions League Yokohama and the Singapore Regional League. Kazuki Kumagawa placed second in Yokohama with the Lost Zone deck that is now known as Sablezard, which focuses on utilizing the powerful Sableye and Radiant Charizard cards as attackers over and over. Tanyang Xiang won the Singapore Regional League with a Lost Zone box utilizing Radiant Greninja as both a drawing card and an attacker alongside other tech attackers like Crabominable V and Zeraora. Tord Reklev won the Peoria Regionals with the Sablezard version of Lost Box in October. Later in the year, a group of top players including Grant Manley, Azul GG, Daniel Altavia, and Caleb Gedimer put up a dozen accomplishments with Lost Zone Box featuring Kyogre from Celebrations. Number 5. Regigigas. Regigigas from Astral Radiance has a painfully specific ability that requires you to have itself and the other 5 Regis all on the board. A board of strictly Regi Pokemon cards seemed like too much of a gimmick, but boy was that not the case. The Regigigas deck won both the Japan 2022 Championships and the December 2022 Champions League Kyoto, which were massive events. Regigigas has also had dozens of other accomplishments at major events. This deck has been so strong due to its type advantages and prize card advantages, since every Regi in the deck is a regular single prize Pokemon, and it is fighting in a field of multi-prize rulebox Pokemon. Number 4. Arceus Inteleon. Arceus Inteleon is my favorite deck of the year. In a world of Mew VMAX and Palkia V-Star decks leading the game with aggression, Arceus Inteleon was a passive and tactical presence. The strategy is to keep Arceus V-Star healthy turn after turn with Cheren's Care, and find whatever cards you need for the turn with Drizzile and Inteleon's Shady Dealings abilities. Arceus Inteleon's slew of good performances this season came from its incredible reliability to exact specific strategies when needed, and consistently output damage with Trinity Nova. Number 3. Lugia V-Star Archeops. There is no doubt in my mind that Lugia V-Star would have been number 1 on this list if it came out earlier in the year. But even with the limited time Lugia has been in the standard format, it has earned close to $70,000 in prize money according to LimitlessTCG.com. Lugia V-Star allows you to cheat 2 Archeops onto the board, which opens the floodgates for the rest of the game. Archeops' Primal Turbo ability can accelerate 2 special energies from the deck onto the board each turn, so with 2 Archeops on the board, you can accelerate 4 special energies a turn, plus your attachment from hand. Lugia V-Star is a solid attacker itself, but it has been accompanied by a plethora of other attackers like Radiant Charizard, Stoutland V, and Amazing Rare Raikou. Just look at all of these Day 2 placements Lugia V-Star Archeops has had in less than 2 months, and there are 2 decks ahead of Lugia? Number 2. Palkia Inteleon. As dominant as many players thought Palkia Inteleon was this year, it may surprise you that it won 0 major events. It did, however, get second at the June 2022 Japan Championships, the 2022 North American International Championships, and Peoria Regionals in October. Similar to Arceus Inteleon, Palkia Inteleon is a tactical deck with many options that can be reliably used thanks to the Inteleon Shady Dealings ability. Radiant Greninja also plays a key role in this archetype's functionality, since it offers card draw and a fantastic attack that can be powered up by Palkia V-Star's Star Portal V-Star ability. Most recently, the archetype was innovated by Jake Gearhart to handle the Lugia V-Star matchup with Articuno's Wild Freeze attack, since most Lugia V-Star decks were not playing any cards that switch or heal their Pokemon. Number 1. Mew VMAX. 2022 was truly the year of Mew VMAX. The circuit's return from the pandemic started in Brisbane, Australia, where Natalie Millar won with Mew VMAX Genesect V. However, Mew VMAX was kept in check with developing metagames and counter decks, which led to Mew VMAX winning 0 North American major events. Mew VMAX adapted over the course of the year, and a new variant of Mew VMAX, which omitted Fusion Strike energies, premiered at the London Open, piloted by the legendary Michael Pramawat. Over the course of the year, Mew VMAX earned 37 top 8 placements at regional championships and a total of $117,000 in prize money? These were the most successful decks in the worldwide competitive scene this year. But let me know which decks you enjoyed the most this year in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time here on Celio's Network.